Hello, everyone. As you can imagine, given my profession and the holiday that it is, I've been working pretty hard the past few days, and I'm taking a little break, and I'm just wanting to exhale and see you all again, you wonderful people. So the last video I did on this channel, it was performing a little bit better than most of my videos because it had drama in it. And the fact that it stands out with its view count versus the videos where I actually go out and film activism and do something positive for the world. That does kind of get under my skin when you know, those few times that it's really easy to pull me into drama, and I embrace the drama for a little bit. Those videos just, they take off, and the ones that I'm actually passionate about, they don't do as well. That's it hurts when it's like more than a tenfold difference. It's anyways. I figured I know how to kill this momentum to this drama thing. I'll make another video and just keep pushing that video down into the past, you know. But I am going to address that video, the comment section of it. I read most of the comments, didn't have a lot of time to respond to everyone personally, but the top comment, besides the one that I pinned to the top up-thumbed comment was contrary to my opinion, and it was posted by Poisoning the Well. I like their channel. You should go check it out. Good comedy. And it ends with the sentence, "Yes, the stream was a shit show, but your takeaway just doesn't quite match the events that took place over the weekend." Right? And like 37 people up-thumbed that. Well, when I read that sentence, what I see is my takeaway doesn't quite match the events that took place over the weekend. The events as told by whom? Because, yeah, they say that they were there at the party, but the footage that I've seen doesn't show them. The stories about other things that Crazyhair was involved in don't involve them and were in rooms that they weren't in. So when they say that they were there, you know, to me it's like, so you were around VidCon, you were at VidCon, and then somebody told you what happened. You know, these events. And I imagine that they were prefaced with, "Hey, did you hear the crazy things that Crazyhair has been up to? Have you heard anything else? Did you see her doing anything out of the ordinary?" And that kind of prefacing in a gossip grapevine atmosphere, I imagine would be pretty priming to the way that people would consume information. And as I see that that's the most up-thumbed disagreement with me in my comment section, I feel like the people that are coming to my video, the small minority, because it's about half and half. It's 95 up thumbs to 64 down thumbs right now on that video. So there's about half the people were disagreeing with me, right? Those people are probably coming from other places where they're not speaking skepticism. They're just kind of nominally skeptic. You know, they're part of that new skeptic group that they're not very Pyrrhic. They're not from the school of the skepticoi. They're just skeptic of social justice warriors. They are apprehensive of them in that sense of the skeptic word. You know, they really don't have formal training in how to see things through the perspective of skepticism, and they can't recognize these priming effects, which I think would be obvious to other people who speak skeptic. You know, also, given the rest of the comments that I received that disagreed with me, I also feel like they're not recognizing confirmation bias in this. And, for instance, my bias would be that I've had a few experiences with Crazyhair prior to VidCon that were all pleasant and do not match the things that I was hearing about her. That's a bias that I have. And so I would expect, upon looking at all the evidence, to see a rational explanation for all of these things that have been strung together into a narrative to make her look kooky. But there's another bias that I feel like people aren't seeing, and that is that somebody spent a lot of money at VidCon to make a private party and had a pretty secure place that they bragged about the security of. And I imagine with spending that much money on a secure place, you'd want to know that you got your money's worth and that it was actually worth it to spend that much money. And how does one feel like they got their money's worth? Well, maybe an example of how it was needed, you know? So in the absence of anything like an actual I'm going to love you to death, stab you and hug you at the same time kind of stalker, they found the closest thing that they had to really confirm to them that their fears were justified in the way that they were, in their words, Ocean's 11ing this shit and keeping it on the down low and having a private chat group to arrange it, you know. All of that stuff was justified because, look, there was somebody who snuck up here, even though, you know, she was invited to the party and she was told where to go. Like, she didn't have to, like, do superhuman hacking to find it all. And to hear that they actually believed that she was, like, just borrowing a computer for a while to hack into finding out where things were. It's just, wow. They're ready to believe that they are being targeted by that kind of fan, you know, and they're ready and willing to accept that information without looking at the evidence and looking for other plausible explanations. They'll just accept that, oh yeah, we're famous enough that we're going to get stalked and we're going to get hacked. So my best example of the priming effect, for those of you who have come to my channel and maybe stuck around and you don't speak skeptic like the rest of us, you don't know what I'm talking about as far as there being a school of skepticism. My best example of the priming effect would be all of the presentations I've seen from the so-called ghost hunters, where they will play a sound clip and say, if you listen really closely, you can hear the ghost say hello when we ask, is anyone there? Right? So then they play their sound clip and someone's like, if there's anyone in the room, could you please say hello to us? And then there's like, they've got a radio that they've done a Frank's box tweak to it, so that's like scanning all the frequencies and just like randomly putting out garbage. And it's like, and then like half the crowd, because they were listening for the word hello, hear the word hello. Because they were primed with the word hello. Even though it's just a bunch of white noise garbage, right? It works. It's a trick that many shysters and snake oil salesmen will use. They will prime you to see something so that you will see it. They will prime you to hear something so that you will hear it. And so when people jump onto, say, the hangout that Blair White did, and they hear little story after story that was collected in the first 30 to 40 minutes of that hangout, they're primed for hearing about, hey, this is a stalker situation, and then when Crazyhair comes with some rational explanations and gets talked over and can't really get them out very well. She wasn't very good at managing that conversation. When she does get the chance, people are not hearing her. They're not listening for a rational explanation. They're primed for this being a showdown with a stalker fan, And it's interesting to me the amount of people who can't recognize priming and confirmation bias and happen to nominally be part of a skeptic community. And so I just wanted to present these two tools of skepticism to you guys, and maybe just Google both of these: confirmation bias and priming effect. Okay, check them out. They're wonderful examples of what to look for when you're thinking skeptically.